Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. You're probably already aware that the Dan Azeez Joshua Buatsi fight is off because Azeez suffered a trapped nerve in his back, and I was surprised to read that the card will actually still go ahead. The O2 Arena card on Saturday night will go ahead. This was confirmed by Ben Shalom on Sky Sports Boxing's page, but I believe that if someone wants a refund, they can have it. So if they want to, get their money back and watch spend it on the rescheduled Buatsi Azeez fight, whenever that will be, they can do that. But I was surprised. I was surprised to hear that the schedule was going to, the original card's going to go ahead, because if you look at the rest of the card, it's pretty thin on the ground, and the only fights that I know, the only fights that are listed on BoxRec are Lewis Green against Sam Gilley. That's for the Commonwealth Super Welterweight title. You've got Michael Lawal and Isaac Chamberlain, which I would guess is going to be the one they're going to promote to the headliner. That's for the British Cruiserweight Championship. You've got Karis Artingstall. I can't pronounce his girl's name. Karis Artingstall. She of the Olympics. Currently 4-0. She's going to be taking on Vanessa Bradford, who's 7-4-2, so just a journeywoman really. And you've got Michael Hennessy Jr. against Joe Laws, which is an 8-rounder. And Karis is that's an 8-rounder, her fight as well. So, and that, as far as I know, that's all that's listed on BoxRec anyway, and I haven't read anywhere else that the card has any more depth. So, you see, this seems to me to be where Boxer are failing. Because even though, pushing aside all the politicking that's gone on between, Ben Shalom and Eddie Hearn and Frank Smith and Warren and all the rest, if you haven't got a depth of talent, a depth of attractive fights on a card, if something like this happens, you can't then step in and promote one to be in the main event. I mean, Michael Lawal and Isaac Chamberlain might be a good fight. Green against Gilley might be a good fight. Hennessy Jr. and Joe Laws might be a good fight. But as an 8-rounder, with low level guys, it's certainly not going to be a main attraction. Whereas, let's take, for example, let's compare it to DAZN's Matchroom card, because they've got Catterall against Linares. Okay, we know about Catterall, we know about Jorge Linares. There's Aqib Fayez against Reece Bellotti, and Bellotti is kind of revitalised. So I'm looking forward to that one. Aqib Fayez is 12-0 undefeated. Reece Bellotti lost 3 on the bounce, but has come back with 2 very good wins, and he's collected an area title on the way. He beat was he previously undefeated? His previous opponent. I'm not sure whether he was undefeated, but it was Youssef Hamani Youssef Humari was the previous opponent, and he won a 10-round decision, which was considered to be a bit of an upset. So that's an intriguing fight, No, I'm not saying it's a headliner, but And then you've got 2 undefeated. You've got Peter McGrail and Fran Mendoza fighting. They're both undefeated. That's at super bantamweight. What else was on there? I can't remember offhand what was on there, to be honest with you. I think Tom Farrell's going in against someone. He's always, Campbell Hatton's on there, of course, and So it's not an A-list gig, but let's say that Catterall and Jorge Linares, let's say that one of those was injured. Could they replace it with a fight of anywhere near equal stature? Not really, because they've got the Commonwealth Super Featherweight title fight between Fayez and Bellotti, but whether it would replace Catterall and Linares, which is an international fight, and they're both big names or bigger names, probably not. They would share the same problem as Sky are currently doing. But if you look at the fights, there must be about 10 fights listed on that card. I'm doing this from memory, but at least you could say, well, if you want to still come for a night's boxing, we got another 8-9 fights going on, and there's some reasonably competitive ones there as well. It's not like it's going to be a you know, a whole evening of 40-36s, you know, Prospect versus Journeyman. There are a few on there that are like that. You probably get that, but you know, there's a couple of 10-rounders. There's like two 12-rounders, some 8-rounders. You know, there's a bit of depth to the card, which means if someone falls out, even if it's a main event, you can make an argument for keeping the card going and for getting people paid. Whereas with the boxer card, you know, take out, like I was saying, take out Azeez and Buatsi, and what have you got? You've got 4 fights. One of them's a Commonwealth title fight, one of them's a British cruiser title fight, I get it. But you've got no depth on the card. Underneath, there's only like 2 fights listed, and they're both 8-rounders. I find it a little surprising that Boxer are keeping this card going. But anyway, let me know what you think. And yeah, just let me know what you think. I do feel for Dan Azeez, because he seems like a really nice guy. He says, I'll read what he actually says about this. He says, it hasn't sunk in. I've never had to withdraw from a fight in my career before, and I want to apologise to all the fans, especially those travelling to the fight. I'm also extremely sorry to my opponent, Joshua Buatsi, to my promoter, and to everyone involved who has worked so hard on this date. I hope this fight can be rescheduled as soon as possible. Whether it will be or not remains to be seen. But anyway, you got any comments? Leave them below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the like button. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing, and thanks for now. Bye-bye.